You know, I think more people are seeing the injustices in America and they're understanding it more and they're ready to fight for it.
Black Lives Matter Plaza served as a big meeting point for some of these rallies and protests on July 4th. Some of the events even raised attention on specific issues.
We're calling for the veteran community to stand up for Black lives.
Later in the day, Vets for Black Lives.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, yeah. It will be ours, oh. One day, when the war is won, we will be sure, yeah. We will be sure, oh. Glory, 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 glory. Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against His glory is tested. Every day women and men become legends. Sins that go against us can become blessings. And the movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all, just ain't specific enough. One son died, His spirit is revisiting us. Children living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we women and man up. They say stay down and we stand up. Shots, we on the ground and the camera pan up. King pointed to the mountaintop and we ran up. One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours, oh. One day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure, oh. Glory, 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 oh, glory, glory. When the war is won, glory. When it's all said and done, glory. We'll cry glory, glory. Glory, oh glory, glory.
Can kids change the world? It all started with a trip. The year was 1958. A little girl named Ayana Najuma was 7 years old. She and 19 other kids went on a trip far from their home in Oklahoma. They went up north to New York City. In New York, the kids noticed something. White people and African American people could use the same water fountains. They could eat in the same restaurants. They could even sleep next door to each other in hotels. That may not sound strange to you, but it was strange to Ayana and her friends. They were African American kids from the South. At that time, the southern part of our country was segregated. That means that African American people and white people were kept apart. In Oklahoma City, where the kids lived, water fountains had signs that said whites only. African American kids and white kids couldn't go to school together. They couldn't eat in the same restaurants. The kids were amazed at how different New York City was from the South. When they got back to Oklahoma, they said, "Why do we have to live this way?" They knew the way their community was set up was wrong. White people had more rights than African American people. The kids made a plan to fix things. But would it work? The kids decided to get the restaurants to change so that African American people were allowed to eat in them. It could be dangerous to try to do that. Many people would be angry, but the kids were brave. They planned a sit-in. At a sit-in, you sit in a restaurant and ask to be served. You don't leave until you are served. It's a peaceful way to change something that is unfair. The kids went into training with a group of African American adults. In training, these adults taught the kids about nonviolence. They taught them about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Many people didn't want African American people to eat in a whites-only restaurant. The kids learned that people would be unkind. The kids learned that they had to stay calm and be peaceful, no matter how badly others behaved. In training, the adults yelled at the kids. They threw water on them. The kids practiced being calm and not yelling back. Soon, they were ready to do their first sit-in. The kids' first sit-in was at the Cat's lunch counter. It was a whites-only restaurant. Ayanna went with about 12 other kids. They all wore their best clothes. They went in and sat down. They were polite. Ayanna asked for a hamburger and a Coke. The waitress said no. The other customers were angry. They didn't like that African American kids were trying to change the restaurant. They did not want it to be integrated so that everyone was allowed to eat there. The other customers yelled at the kids. They poured ketchup and coffee on them. Ayanna says, "I wasn't scared. I knew I was doing the right thing." The kids didn't yell. They didn't fight. They sat quietly and talked with each other. They had brought magazines and coloring books. At the end of the day, the restaurant closed. The kids had to go. The next day, they went back. They ordered food again. No one gave it to them, but they were not going to give up. They were determined. On the third day, the kids ordered food. This time, the waitress brought it to them. From that day on, the Cat's lunch counter was integrated. Anyone could eat there. The kids were so happy. They had made one place in their community better. Ayanna had learned something. She says, "I was little, but my voice was just as important as everyone else's voice." But their work wasn't done. So many restaurants in their community were segregated. Over the next 6 years, the kids did sit-ins at many restaurants. More and more kids joined each time. The restaurant owners got pretty clever about trying to keep the kids away. At one restaurant, workers took away all the chairs. There was no place to sit. But would that stop the kids? No. Ayanna's little sister Lana had the right idea. When she didn't have a chair to sit on, she just leaned on the table. In most places, people wouldn't let the kids use the bathroom. That wasn't going to stop the kids either. One by one, the kids integrated the restaurants in their town. The kids had changed their city. One small group of kids had made their community better for everyone. They may have been little, but their voices were huge.